Hi, I'm Alan.
I'm Kim. This is Emily, Olivia, and Everett.
And we're the Cripps family from Hoover, Alabama.
So we're excited today to tell you about our experience with Mary Lou's team when we sold and also bought our new home this past April. One of the things that we thought was so great about working with their team is we actually contacted their team through Dave Ramsey's ELP program about 2 years before we were ready to sell our house. We thought we were ready. We were working through baby step number 2 on our debt snowball, but then life happened. And so we were delayed for a little bit longer. But during that process, Chris and Mary Lou didn't give up on us, but they also were not pushy. They were encouraging. They were there when we had questions, and we knew that they would be there when it was time to sell.
You know, the process with Mary Lou's team was really fantastic. From the very beginning, we had to, we knew it was going to be a challenge because we were trying to sell a house and buy a house at the same time. We had overgrown our past house and needed something to fit our growing family. And, so that was very stressful on me as the father of the family to try to figure out and work through that process. I didn't even know where to start. But thankfully they came in with all of their experience and all of their knowledge and made this process very easy for us. They told us, exactly what we had to do to get our house ready, pointed out very specific things. It was a checklist that we could easily follow, I could easily follow. I know my wife appreciates checklists probably better than me.
What was even as specific as, okay, this bookcase in the living room, I need you to get rid of 50% of what's on that bookcase. So it wasn't just, declutter, but very specific, tangible ways to make that happen.
Yeah, they told us exactly what we had to do to sell our house, and lo and behold, our house sold in less than a week with multiple offers. So we got a great price for our house, more than even what we were asking for, which really helped us financially, especially when we moved in, when we found our perfect new home. The transition process, wow, the steps, they call them hurdles. I just had no idea, just from watching the shows on TV and stuff. I had no idea what to expect, or even how complicated it is to buy a house and to sell a house at the same time. And I can tell you right now, we never would have made it through without this team giving us guidance and being there to know exactly what's going to happen next, because we had no idea. We were so, I know at some points in time we were nervous because, we were thinking, well, this could go wrong and that could go wrong. But Mary Lou's team just, it was just like, don't worry about it, guys. We do this every day, and that's what they do. And we could tell that they could do it every day, which calmed us, made all the hurdle points very, very easy to pass through. And so when we found our home, and we went through the buying process, it was nothing. We showed up on closing day, and we sold a house, we bought a house, and we grabbed our key and moved our stuff. And it was very, very easy. And I can tell you today, we could not be where we are today without that team, because there's no way we would have gotten through all those hurdles without what they do. And we really appreciate it. Couldn't recommend this team more than any other team on the planet, just from our experience. It felt like family throughout the process. They encourage us to do our finances in the way that Dave encouraged us to do our finances. They encourage us to handle the business end of it in a way that was responsible as a young family, and it just felt like we were working with a family member the whole time, not with a realtor, or with an agent that was looking out for themselves. They were looking out for our best interests. And seriously, this process took 2 years from start to finish for us. But that 2-year process, there was never pressure. It was just, we're here for you. Tell us what you need us to do next. And that's what we did, and it all worked out. It was very good. So thank you.
And I think I've had a few people at work, when they found out that we were moving, comment about how stressful moving is. That was not our experience at all. And Alan mentioned the back-to-back closings. Apparently that's a really big deal in the real estate market. There was another girl at work. She was more than satisfied with her experience with a different agency. but her home sold so quickly that they had to live with friends for 6 weeks. So we were a little bit nervous, like, oh, are we going to be able to do back-to-back? But we did. We sold at 10 a.m. and bought at 12 p.m. and it was seamless.
Yeah, I had more than 5 people at work tell me, there's no way you're going to do back-to-back without living with in-laws somewhere, somehow. And I told them, I think that we can do it because we've got the Mary Lou's team supporting us. And, you know, we proved them all wrong because it happened flawlessly. I just couldn't believe it.
I think that part of that, like, we're a very faithful couple, and Chris and Mary Lou are very faithful as well. And we could just feel like God's hand through this process. Like we said, it's going to be a back-to-back closing, and that's how it's going to happen, and that's how it happened. And I'll never forget when we came to the inspection for the house that we bought. We got here, Mary Lou was already here, which wasn't surprising that we were late because I'm usually late.
That's true.
But she got here and she said, I've been here for 45 minutes and I went and prayed in every single room in this house for you and your family. And that really touched me.
That meant a lot.
That was really special. And then the boxes.
Yeah, the boxes. We had no idea how many boxes it took to move a house. And
especially a house that we moved into with 2 people 11 years ago and moved out with 5 people.
Yeah. And you know, in the back of my head, I was, you know, I'm watching every dollar, and you know, I was thinking, man, I'm gonna spend a fortune on boxes in this move. It just wasn't something I even thought about, boxes and packing material. But Mary Lou's team, Chris and Mary Lou, they actually provided boxes for us. They keep a whole container of boxes locally, and it's a, you know, kind of borrow a box, return a box scenario, and we were able to we used all the boxes, but we brought them all back, and what a great experience, because we didn't have to buy those boxes. That saved us just a ton of money and hassle, just because I didn't even know what boxes to pick out. I don't know anything about boxes. But they did, and so they had the boxes to move clothing, and the boxes to move small stuff, and the boxes to move big stuff and packing material, and that really, again, it was just something that made the process a little easier. It was just something I didn't have to worry about because I knew they were right there.
Just all the little things that, because they've had so much experience, all of the things that we didn't know to anticipate, they already had handled.
They already did. I mean, even things like utilities. I mean, they gave us a list of, hey, here's your utilities. You need to make these phone calls. Here's the phone numbers to turn off your utilities at your old house. Do it on this day at this time. And then we got the list a couple days later. Here, you need to call and set up these utilities at a new house. This is what the process looks like. This is your deposits you're gonna have to make. I mean, everything was just so clear. There was no I not dotted or T not crossed. I mean, it was just the process just couldn't have been easier. Yep. Again, we are the Cripps family, Alan and Kim, and we just highly, highly, highly recommend using Mary Lou and Chris Von Der Rohe's team for buying your next home.